Women don't play a lot of Test cricket and there are not a lot of first-class structures with a red ball. Just how do you feel about the format in the women's game and what can you gain from playing a Test match other than knowledge?
Yeah, certainly. I can only speak from my own experiences, and I absolutely love playing red ball cricket. I think some of my favourite memories have been in red ball cricket. I think it's just such a test, such a challenge. That really is something that I love doing. The mental challenge of it, the repetition of skill, the adapting to so many different situations that you might face. I absolutely love it, and I actually think it's a really good learner for younger players. I'd love to see some domestic red ball stuff, whether that be North versus South games, as they've had in a little bit in England previously, just to allow players to develop a little bit. Like honestly, like build up to a test match, everyone's like, right, how do I learn? How do I develop? How do I apply my game to this situation? And I think it's a really good basis to actually grow with cricketers, and repetition of skill is important in all formats, and actually playing a little bit more red ball can at a younger age can enable you to be able to repeat a bit more your skills in the white ball format. So yeah, look, it's always comes up, doesn't it? Future Test and Women's Test cricket. Should we play it? Should we not? All I can say is I love playing it. I think it's a really pure format of the game. But I can kind of see the reasons why T20 has been prioritised in the women's game. That's been the growth area. That's been how the game's moved forward, I think, a little bit. But we've got two test matches in the next month, which is really cool, like the closest test matches we've had. And I think the incorporating it into a multi-format series is a really good one. Strangely, we're not playing a multi-format series here, albeit we're treating it like it. Obviously, there's not a point system here, but we're treating it exactly like the Ashes in terms of multi-format. So yeah, everyone gets really excited to pull the whites on. There's a lot of excitement in that dressing room to see how we go tomorrow and have some fun on the field, because there's always some really funny, memorable moments that you have during test matches.
Yeah, you play more Test matches than South Africa, for example. So, what have you guys done in preparation? Is it something that you do generally before a Test series, or how do you, not Test series, a Test match? How do you prepare for this kind of game?
It's really hard, just because like picking a team is pretty hard, just because you're going on minimal information, really. You're going on white ball cricket or a test match that was maybe a year ago, so it's quite a hard thing to prepare for. I think mentally just trying to get clarity around how you're going to play. I don't think that should differ hugely from your one day mindset. It's just doing things for a little bit longer and managing situations that change in the game a little bit better. But we've tried to incorporate the odd red ball session to practice the skills, but also just to practice flipping into it. That mindset of red ball cricket and then flipping back into white ball, because that's the biggest challenge, I think, being able to flip between the formats. Being okay sometimes with not scoring and having to soak up pressure for a little bit longer, but also I want the girls to have that mindset that when we get a chance to really flip the pressure back on the opposition, and can we move the game forward at a rate of knots, I guess. So yeah, tricky is the short way. But yeah, we've done it before. We've had a couple of days build up before, and we've had some success. So as individuals, so it's sort of remembering that and trying to get your mind in the best place, because 2 days is not enough to prepare skill wise for the red ball game. You just got to trust your mindset and the skills that you already have.
Telford.
Hello, I was talking to Karen Smithies the other day, of course, won the World Cup with England, and she was saying that an important part of her foundation as a cricketer was playing declaration cricket. Didn't need to be first class, but at least, suddenly there's three steps in a gully behind you, which you don't normally see. And she said that really set her up and gave her a proper understanding of cricket. And I'm not sure how much declaration cricket you would have played, but would you agree with that?
Well, probably my 12 test matches. So obviously been playing for England for a long time, 14 years, and I've only played, I think this is my 13th test match. So I'm still a novice at test cricket, really. You look at a player that's played that many in the men's game, and you'd say they're really at the start of their career and sort of learning and developing. So yeah, it's just a bit different. It's a mental challenge. Obviously, we are where we are. We don't have that multi-format game as a declaration cricket, as you call it, as a basis in our development, I guess. So it's all about finding a way. I think the best players are able to do that. Find a way to adapt to what's in front of you, and find that mentality that means you're going to have success in red ball cricket. So yeah, obviously it's very different now. That's kind of just how it is, really, I guess. So for us as a team, it's finding a way to adapt to it.
If we're going to ask you a boring question about the weather, it's hot for South Africa. Has that been a challenge to overcome?
Well, it's been apparently pretty hot throughout the tour. I think it's been the hottest it was in Parch and hot in Kimberley, etc. So we kind of got used to it, I guess. No, it's just a different challenge. Like obviously 100 overs a day, going back from the last test we played in England against Australia, 90 overs a day, obviously a 5-day game, so it's a slightly different challenge with the heat, and obviously trying to get your overs in as well, so you don't lose your match fee. It's going to be tricky, but yeah, look, we're a pretty fit group. We train hard for these conditions, and that fitness hopefully will help us to maintain our mental concentration for longer. And yeah, we've got a lot of support with us as well to try and manage that heat.
Heather, in women's cricket terms, this is quite a long tour, being multi-format. How important is it just to remain a little bit more patient for the next couple of days before thinking of going back home for the festive season and then down to Australia?
Oh, we're totally focused on this test match. I think it's been in the calendar and something that the girls have highlighted where they really want to play in and really want to do well. So yeah, there's not too much talk about getting home yet. There's obviously some players that have been away since the start of the World Cup, obviously with the Big Bash and things like that. So it's been a decent stint, but that's the reality of being a professional women's cricketer these days. You're on the road a lot, and you have to learn to manage yourself a little bit better with the amount of cricket that you do play, both physically and off the pitch as well. So yeah, it's something we're used to, and any chance to play a test match is really cool. We've kind of had one eye on the Ashes throughout this series and trying to prep for that, whilst also not looking too far ahead and doing what we need to do to have some success. And obviously we've had huge success on this tour. It's been a brilliant trip for us, a really successful tour, like loads of learnings as well, and things we can sort of fine tune before we go into the Ashes. But yeah, it'll be a perfect end and a lovely Christmas present to be able to get a test match win out here.
And I know teams don't like singling out players, but how much of a factor is Marizanne Cobb? She just seems to love Test cricket, especially the bat and against England.
Yeah, definitely. She played an awesome innings, that 150 down at Taunton when we played against them. Yeah, she's certainly high class arounder, isn't she? She's a key player for them. And yeah, we'll have our plans to try and get her out. She's one of the few key players for them that are really important for us. Laura, I think's got potential to bat long and score some big runs as well. So she's a key player. And yeah, just keeping an eye on the rest of them and real clarity about how we want to go about it. I think that's the main thing, and then adapting to how they're playing the game in the moment as well is something we've really talked about.
Thanks, Morgan. And any questions from those in the room for those?
And just in terms of an 11, what are you considering, given the conditions, big outfield, it's usually quite flat here?
Yeah, so we're going to play an extra bowler. We feel like it's the right decision, obviously with the cricket coming up, with Australia tour really close, and obviously Kate's picked up a little bit of an injury. We're not totally sure on her fitness yet, but we feel like our seam bowlers are going to be so important over the next month, so we want to really look after them. So we've decided to not play the extra batter and go with an extra seamer, an extra bowler. So yeah, obviously we'll wait and see about Kate, see how she pulls up. We want to give her the biggest chance because she's so desperate to play Test cricket. Yeah, I think she had that in the forefront of her mind when she went off for the ODI and thinking about the Test. But yeah, hopefully she pulls up okay. But obviously Rhiannon McDonald-Gay has been here as cover for us, and she's been here for the last couple of weeks preparing for a Test. So she'll come in if Kate's not fit, and then Maya will open the batting.
Which batter would you leave out?
Sophia would miss out.